Dripping in gold? That's cool. Dripping in Velvita's supremely creamy golden cheesiness? That's respect. Elevate your drip with Velvita's range of outrageously delicious dips and dishes. Shells, cheese, melty blocks, and heat and eat queso that go all in on indulgence. Flex on your fam with a creamy, cheesy masterpiece and go all in on what you love with Velvita. Respect the drip and satisfy your cravings. Bring home the drip with Velvita.
I'm Joseph.
And I'm Nick.
This is Fish Jelly.
Oh, yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I want to bring people's attention to our Patreon.
All right.
I think we have a nice Patreon.
Your favorite local grocery stores like Kroger, Ralph's, Fred Meyer, and more are now delivering on Uber Eats. Get 40% off your order of fresh, quality ingredients. Whether you just got home to an empty fridge or suddenly got a craving to whip up something new, you can get everything you need delivered in as little as 25 minutes. Get 40% off your order with code Kroger2026. Plus, members get $0 delivery fees. Order now on Uber Eats. Orders of $30 or more save up to $25 and $4.30.26. See app for details.
A beautiful Patreon.
Because, as everyone might know, on our YouTube channel, we review new releases.
Yeah.
On our podcast, we alternate, you and I, between picking a secret film to watch and then rambling on about other bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
And on our Patreon, certain patrons choose movies for us to watch and review. So this past week, we dropped 6 reviews.
Yes.
For Swing Girls, Sex, Lies, and Videotape, Lion, Boomerang, Annihilation, The Farewell. So there's a lot of content. Also, people often leave comments asking us to review films that are films we reviewed on Patreon. So I think that if people join our Patreon, they will see that there is hours and hours and hours of entertainment to enjoy.
Of rambling, yes. We actually, and then I also pay into our Patreon.
Yep. So once a month, Nick donates his selection for anyone to listen to.
Yes.
So you don't have to pay to be a member. That's free. But if you want to listen to all the movies, you have to pay. And we're a little behind on Nick's selection. So there will be 2 free ones coming
Sometime soon.
Soonish.
My January and February selections, yes.
Moving on. Films released we didn't cover. Dreams.
I saw this in Berlin last year, 2025. If we hadn't been so jam-packed, we probably would have reviewed this. It's the new Michel Franco film, which I quite liked. Jessica Chastain is the star. It's her second time working with Franco. We reviewed their last film together, Memory, with Peter Sarsgaard, if you remember. But this is a little more vicious tale that's more apropos of Franco's oeuvre. But Jessica Chastain is having this very toxic affair with this Mexican artist. I think he's a dancer, and they do terrible things to one another.
Ghost Elephants.
This I missed at Venice, but I caught up with at AFI last year. It's a new documentary by Werner Herzog about a mysterious group of ghost elephants in Angola. If you like Herzog documentaries, must see.
In the Blink of an Eye.
This premiered at Sundance this past January, but I saw a very early screening of this probably a year ago. Directed by Andrew Stanton, and it stars Kate McKinnon and Rashida Jones, and it's like 3 storylines over thousands of years about mankind. I really didn't like it. I thought it was hokey, and sometimes Kate McKinnon is very hard to take. She's the scientist on this ship that's destined for some planet that we've had to migrate to, and she's in charge of, taking care of, because she's not going to survive the trip. So she's like raising these children on. I don't know. I really didn't like it, but I think it premiered on Hulu.
K-Pops.
This sounded interesting. I think it's a directorial debut by Anderson .Paak, and I think inspired by his own child obsession with K-pop music. And it looks like a really vibrant, fun film. But yeah, we didn't see it.
Lastly, Man on the Run.
This is a documentary about Paul McCartney, directed by the great Morgan Neville. I think if you dig the Beatles, this should be must-see.
Projects of Interest, 3 Incestuous Sisters.
What a great title, huh? Alicia Rohrwacher, excellent Italian director. Love her sister Alba, primarily an actor. Josh O'Connor, Dakota Johnson, Jesse Buckley, Saoirse Ronan have joined. It's based on a book. I'm forgetting the author's name, but Otessa Moshfegh, who I love. I mean, she wrote Eileen, if you remember that movie with Anne Hathaway that we both quite liked. Is adapting the screenplay, so that is exciting to me.
Unfortunately, there are entries in the obituary section. Martin Short's daughter, Catherine, was found dead.
Oh, that's right. I did see that headline.
Apparently, there was a note. She was found in a locked room. So I think it's assumed she killed herself. Mary Cosby, the Real Housewife of Salt Lake City, her son Robert died from an apparent overdose.
I saw that headline too. Yeah, that's depressing.
And of course, Robert Carradine died at the age of 71.
Yes.
He comes from a family of actors.
A very notable family of actors. Did I read correctly, was his death also ruled a suicide?
Oh.
Am I way off base here? But I didn't
really apparently, yeah, he died by hanging, suicide.
Oh my God.
He was diagnosed as bipolar.
That family, because you remember how David died.
You mean Keith?
No, Keith's still alive.
Oh, David. Yeah, he got lost in like in a hiking trail, right?
No.
Who's the one? Oh, I'm thinking of Julian
Sands.
No,
David Carradine.
Oh, that's the one everyone makes fun of because he
autoerotic
asphyxiation.
Yeah. No, Keith's still alive, and then there's a fourth brother. Which is funny because was it last week on Drag Race with Brooke Shields as the judge? Keith.
RuPaul asks all of the judges a question when he introduces them. And on Brooke Shields' episode, he asked, when was your first kiss? And of course, the 2 other judges were trying to be cute. And Brooke's like, well, I was 11 and he was 28. And it was on the set of a movie.
Pretty Baby.
And it was David Carradine.
Keith Carradine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Keith Carradine.
Yeah, so the Carradines have been up in the zeitgeist again. But yeah, Robert was in a lot of great films, including Scorsese's Mean Streets. I just saw John Carpenter's Ghosts of Mars, which he's in. There's a couple other. I've never seen the Big Red One, and I'm a big Sam Fuller fan. Anyway, yeah, I think that was Jamie Lee Curtis's first romance because I saw she wrote a statement. And apparently she was notified by Melanie Griffith because I think they both might have had a relationship with him.
I'm not familiar with Robert Carradine. I didn't recognize him, but looking at his pictures, he looks like if you mix Hugh Jackman and Mark Maron.
I was thinking Bob Saget too.
Oh, him too.
But I think the younger people might recognize him more as Lizzie McGuire's dad.
Oh, okay.
But I think compared to David and Keith, well, in my little art house bubble, like David and Keith are probably more prominent, but yeah, he's gone.
The secret film this week was my choice, and I chose the 2026 Lifetime film Double Double Trouble, starring Tami Roman as twins. What is it about? Reeling from a devastating miscarriage and the collapse of her marriage, Drea struggles to rebuild her life when her identical twin sister Allie finds love with Ryan, a man who represents everything Drea believes she's lost. We wrote pull quotes since there are none on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
Would you like to give us yours?
Sure. By the pricking of her thumbs, wicked Tami Roman comes undone in this silly but entertaining exploitative Lifetime film, which continues to assert female twins represent the pinnacle of perverse familial dysfunction. Though it's a ludicrous, overbaked melodrama with predictable plot twists, Roman is often captivating, even though she plays twin sisters as if they're guarded colleagues who just met at a symposium on modern etiquette.
Mine. Double Double Trouble boasts an intriguing premise and a demented dual performance from Tami Roman, but its ridiculous plot and remedial dialogue make it entertaining for all the wrong reasons. This is exactly what people want from a Lifetime thriller. So in that regard, it's effective.
Well, it's a throwback to all those, women's pictures of the studio era where you had a A-list actor playing twins like Olivia de Havilland, Betty Davis, who did it twice, Dolores Del Rio. It harkens back to that level of melodrama, which I really love. And Tami Roman, because we have a review out there for Girl in the Closet, right?
Yep.
And I think I remember saying like, oh, you can see that Tami Roman has the capability to really let it rip. And I think this film is almost kind of getting her there.
We have reviews for Girl in the Closet, Single Black Female, and Single Black Female 3, the last chapter. All of those films plus Double Trouble are written by the same person, Sarah Jones. I enjoy nonsense like this.
Okay, Sarah. I do too. It's not great, but it's entertaining.
I think the problem is if this were a film that could be more adult, it would really be something to see.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets the Lifetime treatment, so it's very neutered and basic. It's not shot. The cinematography, the lighting, the makeup, it's all kind of garish. It looks cheap, but you know how Lifetime has that cheap, glossy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Almost like those facades on sets.
Mm-hmm.
Where the front of the building, like it looks like a brownstone, but then you turn to the side and it's like 2 inches of plywood painted. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what Lifetime movies are to me. But there is so much going on. I took so many notes because this shit is ridiculous. I enjoyed it enough.
And yes, starring Jennifer Lopez. But
in good faith, I can't say this is a well done movie.
No, it's better than the Single Black Female movies.
Sure.
I mean, it's a lot more. It's taking itself seriously in a way that is kind of fun. I don't know, but Tami Roman, it's fascinating watching her because these twins are so. It's like they're afraid that because they also are women that work together, so it's almost like they're afraid that somebody's going to file a grievance with HR against the other one. That's how they're acting.
I have so many notes. I'm not even going to try to tell the story. I'm just going to go through my notes.
Okay, let's do it.
The film opens with Drea waking up to bloody sheets, and we see that she's had a miscarriage. Immediately, we cut to the hospital. Her sister Allie shows up. She's been informed that, of course, she lost the baby, but that she wants to try again. And her husband, Kevin, is looking at her like, bitch.
He is twisting on that wedding ring on his big ass finger.
Like he's ready to throw in the towel at the hospital.
He's like, I thought he was going to take the ring off there.
I did too.
He stands up and he's like, I can't do this anymore. It's like, sir, could you just wait till you get out of the hospital?
But it's important to know that Allie tries to convince him like, you two can get through this. And he does hold Drea's hand and says, yes, we can do it. Then we immediately cut to Kevin with a new bitch
eating ice cream, her big ass pregnant belly on the couch. Yeah.
And the new lady looks half the age of Tami Roman.
Well, Tami Roman.
Now, this is the fun part. Well, here, let's take a quick stop.
Okay.
The fun part about movies like these is how ridiculous they are. So, of course, Tami Roman is a woman in her 50s. Mm-hmm. She looks that age. So the fact that at a point her character is like, I'm with child. It's like, oh, okay. Because the other thing is, I like Tami Roman, even though she blocked me on Instagram 10 years ago.
That was true. After we saw her at IHOP in West Hollywood. Yeah.
But she looks in this film malnourished, emaciated, like she's a chain smoker. Ain't no way this lady is pregnant. But that's the fun part of it.
That's the fun. Well, when she's having she has this miscarriage, and then in the hospital bed, she's got that wig and that full beat. It's like, you look.
Well, let's talk about that. So they really don't do much to distinguish the two sisters, except
a statement lip and some curls.
Allie likes to wear a bold red lip and have her hair curled, while Drea always has her hair straight and wears a nude lip. I will say, though, the personalities are very different. So initially, I'm like, how am I going to tell them apart? But once it gets going, it's very easy because Drea's a bummer. She's miserable.
Yeah, and I don't think it's hard to tell them apart. Also, Allie wears a necklace with her name on it. So there's that helps us.
Did you notice they had teeth jewelry?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I thought that was weird. That both had teeth jewelry. Because clearly it's one actor. But yeah, you can just tell during filming, all they did was snatch off a wig. And
yes.
So they're not trying to do too much.
Well, because they also have a cooking show called Double the Recipe, and they wear the same wardrobe while they're filming that. So I'd imagine that cut down on costume changes a lot too.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get to their cooking show, we see Kevin has moved on. He has a new wife. She's very pregnant. They're at home happy eating ice cream. He hears a noise outside, realizes, oh,
Cody the dog is outside.
he goes to get the dog. Okay.
They have a sparse backyard.
Can we talk about the dialogue, though? It is so basic and weird. It's so stiff.
Sarah, this is not how people talk. They talk so circuitously about certain things. It's like, just say, that's not how people talk.
When Kevin realizes the dog is outside, he tells his wife, oh, did you leave the dog outside? Yeah, I'm sorry. It's pregnancy brain. No worries. I'll go get the dog. Well, before you eat all the ice cream, let me get a scoop. And then he tells her, I'll be right back.
I know.
He's not going to the store. He's letting the dog in.
Yeah,
it's just so weird.
Do you have an acre on which to find the dog back there?
Kevin goes in the backyard and
ain't no way anybody's hiding back there.
And immediately is stabbed in the neck by Tami Roman.
Yes.
So,
and what did I say?
Well, since I'm not going to tell the full story, let's just spoil it as we go because there are a couple twists.
There are.
We see Tami Roman kill Kevin, and a person would assume it's the jilted ex-wife, Drea, which is what I thought.
But what did I say? I said
you said, "Oh, it's Allie."
I bet.
Why would you think it was Allie?
Because we like a scene after that where we learn that now the sisters are living together, and Drea looks up a news story. Drea also seems to wear a different wig when she's lounging in bed in her bedroom before laying down because she parts her bangs in those moments wearing that blue thing. She's looking at a news story about the stabbed ex-husband, and I was like, oh, I bet that because her reaction to it is not suggestive to me that she did it. So I'm like, oh, I bet Allie did it.
Let's talk about their TV show, Double the Recipe. So they're supposed to be like Rachel Ray, Martha Stewart type people.
Yes.
I don't know. But that show looks painfully dull. The premise is that every episode, they get one ingredient and they each have to make a different dish. But the one time we see them do it, it's chocolate. That is such a boring, like...
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Some spaghetti noodles that look like some little crostinis.
Oh, it looks so boring. And then, like you said, the way they act, not only with the audience, but with each other, is like they work together and they've both been warned about professionalism. So they're very stiff.
Yes.
It's so odd, but I think that's what adds to the fun.
Or that they're aliens trying to figure out what humans act like.
Yes, both twins act very unnatural.
Do you remember? Do you remember the movie My Stepmother's an Alien with Kim Basinger?
Yes,
where I think Dan Aykroyd's the male lead, but and she talks to some alien helpmate in her purse. But it kind of was giving like Kim Basinger trying to figure out, what do I do in this beautiful woman's body?
We then cut to a scene, a flashback of Allie and Drea's parents, like 40 years, or I don't know how old these ladies are supposed to be. Well, they're clearly in their 50s, but we're supposed to be
bringing us back to civil rights era.
We're supposed to be seeing them when they're 7. And we get a scene with the parents in bed, and the mother is fed up. The mother is like, I can't take it anymore. I don't like Drea. I don't feel connected to her. I've tried everything. Something in my heart just draws me to Allie. And unfortunately, Drea is eavesdropping and hears her mother say this. But I was screaming in my head like, the mother already gave up at 7?
I know, like, Jesus.
These are still small children.
But Drea's already a little lurker. She's like the bad seed. It's like, okay, interesting. But the seeds, the bones of this, the narrative are interesting because that is fascinating. You didn't see, I think there's more than one movie about those British, they're like, I feel British Nigerian, I'm forgetting, those silent twins that had their own language.
Oh, I read about them because it's based on a true story.
Yes,
Mhm.
and they ended up doing some stuff and got locked up for a long time, but nothing that drastic.
And they had their own little language, and when the one died, the other one became totally normal.
Yes.
Yeah, I read about them.
So I find that, but the parents also had a very detached relationship with these twins. And I think twins are a constant fascination for a lot of people, sometimes to toxic lengths like Joseph Mengele. But I think that's an interesting idea that they suggest this trauma started around Drea started with the mother.
Before we get the flashback, there's an inkling that there's inequity in how people see them, because these two have I don't know who this character is supposed to be. His name's Lamar, and he's acting like he's the executive producer of the show, but he's also talking to them like he's their manager.
He's also gay.
He's also gay, and he's also kind of kikiing with them like they're best friends. But then again, the way these relationships are written, they're also very stiff towards one another.
Yeah.
But Lamar, after we see their first taping of Double the Recipe, he explains, oh, there's an opportunity. This tech summit wants to hire you to come give a talk. And they're like, great, we'll go. Well, actually, they only want Allie.
Because that was so awkward.
It was so super awkward.
Well, because
like, why would he tell them like that in front of both of them? And
because Drea's like, well, I don't know, people say shit without thinking all the time.
Yeah, but he's supposed, like, the way he talks to them is like they've known each other. Again, this script is not doing a good job of characterizing these people and their personal relationships to one another.
No, but then, because Drea's like, oh, I'll go this year to the summit because Allie, you went last year. And they're like, no, they want Allie again. And Drea goes, may I ask why? And
Lamar says, well, maybe it's because last year at the faculty party, Allie danced on a table, implying that Allie's more fun.
And she picked up quarters off the table with her breasts.
Then after the flashback scene, we get Drea because the twins live together. Drea sitting at the dining room table, basically sulking, saying, no one likes me, everyone likes you. No one likes you, Drea, okay? Because you are miserable. It's written everywhere. Like, it's plain as day. Also, the way she walks around, she never smiles. She looks severe. The actor playing these twins looks severe.
I mean, Tami Roman's giving me a little bit. I'll have to show you that poster. I think it was a movie under several different titles, one of which was called Mother. Giving me like Black Daryl Hannah a little bit.
At least Allie smiles a lot.
Yeah, she does. Allie's very warm. It's all about the vibe, right? And the energy you put out in the universe. But Drea seems dysfunctional everywhere she goes.
This situation is exacerbated when the manager Lamar says, oh, there's a successful investor. This dialogue doesn't make any sense. This successful investor wants to meet with you. Then we see them meeting at like a bar and grill.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that doesn't seem very professional. They go. It seems like a great meeting. The investor is asking really personal questions of them, like trying to get to know them. But we see Lamar talk to Allie and tell her, well, the investor loved you all, but he only wants to work with you. Does that make any sense? It doesn't
make any sense. They're called Double the Recipe.
That's what she says.
So what the hell are you going to do with her?
And they appear to be popular because they act like they have money and they have this production.
I mean, is this what Tia and Tamara went through?
That's so strange, though, that... But it's solely for the purpose of showing that Allie is preferred.
Yes, but also fucking Drea's lurking asses. She overhears that too.
She overhears that as well. Okay, we get a scene where Drea goes to a local coffee shop.
Oh my God.
This was...
giving this gossipy ass barista.
Who apparently owns the cafe.
Well, first of all, they have that awkward dialogue because Drea walks in and she's like, I want a healthy sugary snack. What do you recommend?
I'm in the mood for something sweet and healthy. Well, you're in luck. People really like our almond bean sprout something croissant muffin. I don't know.
It's my grandmother's recipe.
It's my grandmother's recipe. And Drea's like, well, you had me at grandmother's recipe. I'll take it. And an Americana.
That was like, girl, you turn your ass around and go somewhere else. You're not going to get that here.
And then Drea just goes and sits down. The lady doesn't charge her.
Yeah, I was like, what are you paying? The level of detail for this conversation and no payment happens. Okay.
So Drea sits her crazy ass down and the barista / owner, the owner operator, brings her her items.
Giving me kind of Rachel Dolezal a little bit.
And she sees Drea eyeing this man sitting in the corner. And this barista, who has never met Drea before, we can presume, immediately gives her all the details on Ryan. Oh, his name is Ryan Jackson. He owns a tech company.
Entrepreneur.
He's an entrepreneur. He's here every Monday, Friday at lunch. You should go talk to him. Oh, I will. And as soon as she gets up, still having not paid for her food, Ryan walks out.
Yeah, he takes a phone call and leaves all his shit. He's like, I'm coming. And then Drea's stuck on her phone. She doesn't go back and sits down. She stands awkwardly in the middle of this cafe and starts
Googles
Googling
Ryan
him.
Jackson. Then we see her spiral and basically become obsessed with him. She's looking at all his...
Well, she tells the next scene with her sister Allie, she's like, you're glowing. You met somebody. Tell me about it. And she's like, my paths did cross with a man.
But I'm not going to tell you about him until we officially meet.
And that's the first time we get one of them saying to the other, you're blushing. It's like, you aren't seeing a blush under all that makeup, let me tell you.
But here's the gag. We have to remember that Allie was booked to go to this tech summit, and the object of Drea's affection is a tech man.
Yes.
So guess who have a meet cute at the tech summit? Allie and Ryan.
Yes.
So we already know where this is going. Allie and Ryan hit it off. They actually have a one-night stand. Oh my gosh. They have a dinner scene where Allie is introducing Ryan to chocolate with caviar. This dialogue is so remedial.
Oh, and then it's juxtaposed with Drea sitting at the cafe, sucking down coffee, waiting for Ryan to tend to his every Friday meal at this restaurant. And the barista's like, oh, well, at least there's Monday.
Ugh. All up in her business. Allie sleeps with Ryan. It seems like things are hot and heavy.
Well, and also we keep being told that Allie is a wild child, good time gal, doesn't want to settle down. And Ryan, she's done a 180. She's changed her mind. She wants a family. She wants babies.
So, of course, the gag is when Allie tells her sister that she met this guy. Well, who is it? Well, I'm not going to tell you. You're just going to have to meet him. So they have the meeting with the three of them, and it's super awkward because Ryan doesn't know Drea.
No.
But Drea's been obsessing about Ryan. So it's a really awkward meeting.
Well, and we forgot to mention that because Ryan didn't show up to his Friday lunch with himself, Drea, because she looked him up online, goes to his job.
Oh, that is important because she goes to his job, the company he owns, which is very vague. It's just like a room with computers, which was giving me the room. Like, I work in computers. But she shows up and the manager, his name is Jamal.
Yes.
Who's very nice and professional to her. And she's like, well, I need to get some new tech for my streaming platform, blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, I can definitely help you with that. No, I'd rather speak to the owner, Ryan Jackson.
I need to talk to a boss.
Well, he's not here, but I manage this. I know everything inside out. I can certainly help you. No, I'll wait for him. So it's important to remember that they've had this interaction.
Well, and he goes, just so you know, Ryan's hard to pin down. And she's like, well, so am I.
Like, what does that have to do with anything?
Bitch, what do I care about whether you're hard to pin down or not? Okay.
I can't say enough how weird I thought Lamar is, that character of like the executive producer, manager, best Judy. I don't know.
Oh God, when eating the Chinese food scene. Well, anyway.
We'll get to that. So we see that now Allie and Ryan have been dating for 3 months and Ryan gives Allie his house key. He goes to spend the night with Allie and we get a really uncomfortable scene.
That's when I was like, oh, this is kind of giving me what I want.
Yeah, that was definitely the direction because he wakes up in the morning and Allie's not in bed. So he gets up, comes downstairs, sees Tami Roman at the refrigerator.
Digging in the fridge, yeah.
Digging in the fridge. I want to get back to the fridge.
Oh, I was clocking out a lot of condiments. I mean, I'm a sauce guy, so.
He pulls up behind her and kisses her neck saying good morning.
And it lasts for like a beat too long before she's like.
Tami Roman turns around and goes, I'm Drea. But clearly enjoying the interaction. I want to get back to the fridge because this woman looks so malnourished.
Yes, like a fragile bird.
How many references are there to them eating?
A lot.
I feel like for women who look like that, they are always, we see them with food. They're talking about food.
Yes.
Which I suppose people with disordered eating do obsess about food. But I just think it's funny that these characters don't look like, since the writer of this wrote Single Black Female about two plus size women, there was less mention of food in Single Black Female, all three of them.
Well, that was more taboo in those.
I guess.
But well, even in the scene where Drea is mad because where she realized that her sister's dating the man she wants, and she looks cranky at the table, and Allie's like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "I haven't." What did she say? They're in a restaurant, and she's like, "I haven't had a chance to eat."
I haven't had food.
And old boy pushes the bread towards her. Have some of this. And
this dialogue is so weird. The things they're saying and doing don't always match.
Like, did you not order food then? Like, why are you not going to eat at the restaurant? And then she takes like one little. It was like watching your mother eat. She takes one little like piece of bread and pops it in her mouth.
Oh, she goes, "I haven't eaten." I don't know. Whatever it was, it just made no damn sense. Yeah, there's like a bread basket in front of you. Like, what are you talking about?
Eat the whole roll, bitch.
Then we get a scene where Allie and Ryan are talking about Drea like she needs a man. Well, why don't you hook her up with Jamal? So we get this double date at a golf course. And Drea's being rude to Jamal like she is all the time because she's miserable. And finally, Jamal's like, "Wait, man, I think I know this bitch. Were you the one who came into the office looking for Peter and you were, or Peter?" I'm thinking about Peter Jackson. Wait.
The director of Lord of the Rings?
Cynthia Bailey's ex-husband. Oh. What's his name? Cynthia Bailey.
That man with that gray hair?
Oh, Peter Thomas. Yeah, He just got out of prison for tax fraud.
Oh, God.
So he was like, I saw him on a video doing a little dance, but his name's Peter Thomas,
he was
not Peter Jackson.
Okay.
Anyway, she's trying to pretend like she doesn't know him.
How Jamal did not recognize her dry ass immediately?
There's no way.
Because in the script gives her, she repeats that same stupid line, which makes no sense on the golf course about how she needs something like a boss. And that's when it clicks for him. That makes no damn sense.
But then.
And also, Drea is dressed like a Japanese schoolgirl. All the time.
Okay, I will say I liked their fashion.
I did too, but she looks. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's very schoolgirl, but I think she looks nice. Tami Roman looks nice in these clothes because it looks like the clothes are just hanging on her. But it's also that golf course scene where Ryan sneaks to go meet Drea. So as the audience, I think we're supposed to think, oh, is there something inappropriate going on? Because he's being very secretive and saying like, let's meet tomorrow and don't tell your sister. So of course Drea is really excited because she thinks they're gonna have like an affair. So we see her get all dolled up and she's being bitchy with her sister like, well, I'm gonna go meet a man.
The man at the coffee shop.
Oh, so he finally came back around. She's like, no, he's been in my life, we just haven't had time to connect. So
which makes no sense. And also she's wearing like all white in that white, was that headband?
Again, I think that the styling, it is kind of fierce.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
It's giving J-horror, but yeah.
Drea takes her crazy ass to go meet Ryan, thinking that they're going to spark a romance. But actually, Ryan wanted to talk to her in private, get her blessing to ask Allie to marry him.
I don't know why he would do that. She is cold and weird.
Right.
And you also already had an awkward instance with her about the fridge. So.
Speaking of awkward, did you catch that scene where Allie was sitting on that lounge chair typing on the laptop? And she's kind of curled up in the chair, but the laptop is on a side table and she's kind of corkscrewed typing.
Yeah, it's kind of like Mallory Ballallery in Beauty and Black.
Yeah, like the most uncomfortable, like unergonomic way to, like, you would have severe back and shoulder pain.
You skinny, this skinny lady, like you're gonna screw up your spinal cord.
It looks so ridiculous. Once again, I have to say, the lighting and the cinematography doesn't do anyone any favors. No one really looks flattering. Okay, then we get a really weird scene where Allie is in the production studio. Again, Their operation looks like they're on some Martha Stewart stuff.
Uh-huh.
I don't know whose office they're in. I don't know who does what, but Allie is in the office when this random woman walks in who looks like she's from FEMA. Like she's just she's very serious, and she's acting like she has some bad news.
Yes.
And we find out that woman told Allie her pregnancy test came back positive.
Well, no, it was the insurance. So they were getting blood tests for work-related purposes.
Oh, I think I missed that. Okay, so that's why I was confused. Because I'm like, who is this woman and why is she telling Allie she's pregnant? Okay, so they had their blood drawn for insurance purposes. Yeah. So that's when Allie learns that she's pregnant. Then she goes and buys like home pregnancy tests and they come back positive. So while they're in the dressing room, Allie tells Drea, I'm pregnant. And Drea loses it. She starts shaking. You know what it reminded me of because of the bangs? You know that clip of Rihanna where she's performing live and then she makes her body shake? Uh-huh. It looked like that.
There's several more scenes of body shaking that are like, whoa.
Tami Roman does put a lot into this role.
She certainly does, yes.
Side note, we have Lifetime, but if we use Lifetime to watch movies, we have to watch commercials. And the commercials on Lifetime are nauseating.
Yes.
So I'm like, let's just pay for it on Amazon. But watching Lifetime movies without commercials is jarring.
Well,
you can very obviously tell where they were going to cut to commercial.
Which is funny because last night, we'll talk about this on movies we watch for fun. I watched this 1987 miniseries, and it's been a while since I've watched that. Yeah, like all the commercial break cuts are like, because they kind of want to be a cliffhanger, but it's also like,
So Allie's pregnant, Drea's devastated, they're filming their show, Double the Recipe. Allie steps away from her water bottle, which I thought was so weird because
usually they get the water bottles at the end.
Yes, we've seen them tape twice before, and every time they're taping, someone brings them their pink Stanley cup.
They both have different cups too. It's interesting.
But then in this moment, their water cups are there. So that doesn't seem consistent, but it's necessary for this plot point. In front of a full audience, Drea's crazy ass drops some liquid into Allie's cup.
Which is like, in
front of all these people and cameras, we'll get back to, she poisons her sister. Immediately, the sister becomes violently ill. We cut to her in a hospital, and the doctor's like, she lost the baby. So what did Drea poison her with? A combination of Listeria and E. coli. So of course I looked up, when does a person start seeing symptoms when they've been exposed to Listeria and E. coli? For one, it's like 1 to 2 weeks, and for the other, it's like 3 to 4 days. But this happened like within the hour. Yes. That not only did she become violently ill, but she lost the baby. That's crazy. Then Lamar is in the office one day reviewing footage, talking to Drea.
While he's editing?
I don't know what he was doing looking at the footage, but he goes, wait a minute, you did it. And then we see the video of Drea conspicuously putting drops in Allie's water. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
You and your sister share everything together. Why wouldn't you have poisoned her shit at home? Why would you wait until you're in front of a studio audience with cameras to not discreetly drop what looked like mucus into her?
Yeah, it looked like a straight up tapeworm she injected in there.
That was crazy. So, of course, Lamar tells Drea he's going to tell on her if she doesn't leave. So we see him leaving the studio, immediately calling Allie, like he's still going to tell on her.
But also, if you saw that, why would you say anything to her right there?
Well, that part. What does Drea do? This scene was crunchy as hell. She pushes him in front of a moving vehicle, but of course there was no stunt coordinator or anything involved. It's just like Tami Roman pushing this man, and then he kind of fumbles into the street, and then a pickup truck moving at a very low rate of speed.
Yeah, the impact is not that.
And he's wearing this little gay ass hat that flies off. And anytime when people get hit and their shoes or hat fly off, it's funny.
Carmen Sandiego hat. Yeah.
But we see him on the ground with this hat like 10 feet away. And we find out that impact killed him.
Yeah.
So now we think Drea has killed her ex-husband, Kevin, her sister, Allie's unborn baby, and now Lamar.
She's a serial killer.
Okay, why did it take Jamal, Ryan's employee, so long to tell him he had met Drea prior to all of this?
I don't know, especially if he's really his friend, because that's how they seem to be real chummy. Yeah, he tells him awful late.
But he tells him, and then
oh God, that's such a bad scene because
where he breaks into her computer.
Yeah, he's like, oh, we got to find out who Drea really is. Like, and you're the best of the best with the tech. You're the best techie, so you can go into the back end and find out all about her private life.
We literally see him get on the laptop. Immediately, he's remotely controlling Drea's desktop.
Right.
And he opens some files and sees that she's obsessed with him. She has all these photos she took where she photoshopped herself into them.
And they were before, and they realized, like, what's the date that you met Allie? February 20th. And he's like, these were taken on the 16th.
They put this together too quickly.
Yes. And then Jamal, he's like, wait, she was obsessed with you before you even met Allie, yo. Like, okay. Oh, no. That was a very slippery slope right there.
Drea's getting desperate. So, because after Allie loses the baby from being poisoned, Drea makes it seem like Drea convinces Ryan Allie doesn't want to see him, that she needs her space. So Drea then pretends to be Allie.
She drugs Allie,
knocking her out.
She puts on her statement lip.
It's an important plot point because we see it like 4 or 5 times that they both keep their keys on a hook, and that Allie always puts her keys the same, like she places her keys the same way every time. And then she even makes a comment about, I can tell my things have been moved before I even touch them, which was reminding me of Tyra Banks saying the instant food touches my tongue, I can taste it.
Yes.
Okay.
I also thought of Kathy Bates in Misery with that detail, but yeah.
So Drea goes over to Ryan's house pretending to be her sister, but then really what she's doing is creating drama because she tells Allie, yeah, he called me over there thinking that so then of course Allie's upset, assuming that Ryan is into some freaky twin shit.
Uh-huh.
But when Allie notices that her key, like, what is it? The toast jelly side down? Or
oh, yeah, the devil's around. If the toast falls jelly side down, the devil's around the corner.
Immediately off that one fact that her key was not placed right, Drea is caught. Allie's like, I knew you weren't shit. I knew you were a liar. Get out of my life. And then we immediately cut to Allie and Ryan living together. They go on this little trip to a cabin. Okay, I have to say, did you notice that cabin when they pull away from it? Didn't it look like a rest stop bathroom?
Oh,
that did not look like a cabin. That looked like it looked like a rest stop. That was weird.
But I was getting bodyguard vibes.
We get another moment with this gossipy ass barista.
Yeah, so Allie and Ryan go together, arm in arm, and the barista's like, "I'm so glad you guys made it."
Well, no, she goes, "Oh, I'm so happy you met Drea."
Oh yeah.
And Allie's like, I'm not Drea.
But the way they act about it is like this barista had something like was complicit in this, and she's like, what
so
the fuck
that confirms that Drea was up to some shit before.
But she wasn't really. She just had a crush on this man, and I mean,
well, it answers the question for Ryan. How did she become obsessed with me before I met her sister?
Right.
Okay, so the end of the film is Ryan and Allie at the cabin for Allie's birthday. And Drea shows up, dressed just like her.
I don't know how she knew what her sister was wearing at the cabin,
but Drea pulls a knife on her sister, and somehow Allie has a gun. I didn't see that coming. Like, Allie just has a gun and pulls it on her sister and says, and Drea's saying, well, you should just kill me because there's no hope for me. I'm never going to have a good life. And her sister she says really nice things to her, that she's always loved her and she could see that people didn't treat them fairly, but she never felt that way. And then the bomb is dropped that Allie admits to killing Drea's ex-husband. She's like, I love you so much. That's why I killed Kevin.
Uh-huh. And I was like, I knew it.
Drea grabs the gun and says, well, if you're not going to do it, I'll do it. So Drea tries to kill herself, but they start wrestling for the gun.
There's some shaky chihuahua movements. And
then we see that Drea is shot and killed. We think.
In the belly, the womb.
So we think. Of course, Ryan walks in and is like, oh my God. Then we flash forward to happier times and we see that they've gotten married. Everything's beautiful.
Yes.
Ryan is with, I guess, his subordinates at the office, or I don't know who
Jamal's
was there. It seemed like they were his employees, but Jamal's like, tell everyone how you met and blah, blah, blah. Ryan says something about Allie, like, you changed my palate, you changed my life.
Oh.
So it seems like all's well that ends well. Ryan goes to get the car. Allie walks outside, gets a phone call, and it's from that successful investor. And he's like, hey, remember that I said, like, you know, I really am into you guys, but I prefer you.
God.
And then all of a sudden, who we think is Allie has like a flashback, and we see what actually happened that night with the gun, that it was Allie who was shot accidentally. And then Drea basically pretended to be her.
As if we didn't think that already, but okay.
And then the final gag is...
I called this too. I called it, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, because when Ryan and Allie had their first meet cute dinner with the chocolate caviar, they were asking about each other's lives. And Ryan said, well, I have a brother, but we're very different.
Named Randy
Named Randy Jackson. You know, I'm the successful tech guy and my brother's a felon. And that's all we hear. But the final shot of the movie...
He gets weird when Allie says she's a twin, though. And that's why I was like, oh, I bet he's a twin.
Well, the final shot of the movie, which seems so like nonsensical, except that I bet there's going to be a double trouble 2 or something.
Oh yeah, we got to get back to that.
Or no, they should call it double trouble.
Double trouble. That sounds like an In-N-Out selection. But I totally forgot the Olsen twin girls movie, Double Toil and Trouble, which of course.
But I didn't say what the final shot is.
Macbeth reference. Anyway, yeah.
We see Randy Jackson, Ryan's brother, lurking, and they're identical twins.
And I'm like, okay, I knew it. And then you get the voiceover to remind the audience with the short attention span of Ryan saying, my brother Randy's a bad man.
Okay, I think double trouble is going to be about, because it wasn't confirmed that Allie's dead. We just know that she was shot.
Yes.
So I bet that she's probably in a coma or on life support, or like in
Frozen. She's
somewhere where like she can't communicate. But the next movie is going to be that she wakes up from that coma.
Where do they send General Zod and Superman? Wherever that God.
Is. And then Randy Jackson's going to come back and they're going to play some nonsense like that.
Yes.
Which, now that I think about Single Black Female, a big component of the first one is that the two leads look similar.
Yes.
So
Sarah has a theme.
She has a vibe. And I think if she had, I don't know. I like your mind, Sarah, like what your ideas, but the execution of this dialogue is not.
No, but it's a fun little role for Tami Roman. I will say that.
Yes. What would you give Double Trouble?
The more we talk about it, I think the lower score I have to give, because it is just so dumb. But I guess 1.5.
Yeah, this... For people who like Lifetime thrillers, this will definitely satisfy you, but this is not a well-made movie with good dialogue. The plot is nonsensical.
Double trouble.
I would give it 1.5 out of 5. All right, what do we have coming this week?
The big release next week is The Bride.
Oh.
With Jessie Buckley, which I actually am quite looking forward to. And I sent you the list of releases. You still have yet to get back to me on what else we're covering.
Oh, well, one's good.
Oh,
anyway.
Okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No.
Ta-ta.